name's Tanya, and I wanted to start this channel, We'll Read for Yarn, for a couple of reasons. First one, I suppose I wanted to show one of my loves, which is the love of reading. I'm a school librarian and I like everything about books. I was obviously a big reader before I became a school librarian, but my genre is YA that I find for the high school students, and I love helping people find the book that they love to read, and I love reading myself as well. So hopefully I can bring something of that into this channel at some point, talking about books. But the other thing I love is yarn. I wish I could say first I loved crocheting and knitting, but I think I might even love yarn more than making things. I know that's not how it should be, but gosh, I love purchasing yarn. I love feeling yarn. When I go to the yarn store, I'm always touching all of the yarn. I love it. And that is a big part of my love of knitting and crocheting. It's just the love of the feel of creating something with such beautiful medium of yarn. So I really like to talk about yarns. I love watching yarn unboxings. And one reason I wanted to make this as well is I just don't find a lot of stuff about using the KnitCrate yarn and the KnitCrate boxes. I found a couple of unboxings, but I guess part of my issue is I'm not always very fond of the patterns that come in the box. So I'm always trying to look for something that's perfect for the yarn. I love the KnitCrate yarn, and so I want to make sure whenever I use it, it should be something beautiful and something great. So even for one that I'm going to show you, I tested out on a different yarn before I made it in the KnitCrate yarn, because I want this yarn, this amazing yarn, to be used well. So I purchased, there's a great deal going on right now at knitcrate.com, 75% off of the member prices already. And our member prices, if you're a KnitCrate member, are already discounted. And then they discount it 75% off of our discount. It's phenomenal. I bought 17 skeins of yarn and one stitch marker. Oh my gosh, the stitch marker is so cute. I got one in a box and I really loved it, so I wanted one more. I wanted more, but I had to, I'm trying to be good, right? Not too much stuff. And so I purchased 17 skeins. For the skeins alone, without the stitch marker, were about $71. So it came to about $4.20 per skein after shipping and tax and everything. That is phenomenal for this quality, super quality yarn that you get through KnitCrate. So here's the bag that came in, and I don't usually unbag things first, but I was so scared that my yarn was going to be damaged, because look at this hole. It's ginormous. I had 3 huge holes. This is not from me opening it up. This is how it came in the mail today. And so I was very upset, and I opened it up immediately just to make sure that the yarn was okay inside of it. That has been a big pet peeve of mine. I now get 2 KnitCrates because I was finding that the yardage I was getting wasn't enough for me. I'm a bigger girl and I need things that I make for myself to be a little bit bigger than what the standards. So the one size fits all is not one size fits all for me. I wanted a little bit larger so that it doesn't looks like something tiny on me. So for example, with this is a beautiful pattern I'm working on right now from one of the KnitCrate yarns, and the person who did it did 19 rows. I'm probably going to do more like 23 or 24 because I want things to fit my body sort of the same way that it fit her body. She's a teeny tiny little lady, and so that is kind of my thing, is I need a little bit more yarn than the average bear. So I bought 17 skeins. I'm going to show you those skeins. I also have some different patterns that I'm using with those and that I'm planning to use with the new ones that I just purchased. And I kind of just wanted to make sure that I had enough yarn and that kind of thing. So I'm going to dive into this. But before I dive in, let me just tell you, I love knitting and crocheting because it centers me. It centers me. I had stopped doing it for many, many years. Just life. I mean, really, before the pandemic started, I was a mom chauffeur. My husband was a dad chauffeur. We have 2 kids. One's a tween, one's a teen. One's involved in club sports. The other one is involved in drama, plays, and things. And so we had some days where we were both carting our one child around and taking them places, and because they had to be at the same place at the same time. It was a full-time job in addition to my full-time job. And when the pandemic hit, one of my full-time jobs went away. And there are two silver linings to this pandemic. One of them is I'm sure spending a lot more time with my kids, and having a tween and a teen, they were pretty much over wanting to spend time with me, and now they had no choice. I was thrilled about it. I'm not sure how thrilled they were, but they didn't really have a choice, and it's been really wonderful to be able to spend time with them. The other thing is I've started knitting and crocheting again. When I was in my 20s, I worked, and they had a yarn club kind of thing where we would meet once a week and go down to a little cafe, and everyone would knit and talk and help each other out if they were having problems with their projects and stuff. And it was so wonderful. But after I left that job, I sort of trickled off and didn't start working with that stuff again until just recently with the pandemic. And I'm so happy to be doing this again. My pocketbook, not so much, because I buy a lot of yarn. My thing I will say though is the stuff I bought at the beginning of the pandemic and the stuff I had before that is not the same stuff I'm buying now. I'm discovering that some yarns work better for me than others. For example, Red Heart, so cheap, so beautiful colors, amazing. Their ombre is the best ombre you can find, except their yarn tears up my fingertips. Like my fingertips after I use it, probably for a couple of days even, are very tender when I try to touch things. It just rips apart my fingertips. Wool also causes itching. I remember the first time I used wool, during the pandemic time, I was like, why are my hands all red and itchy? I was like, do I have some kind of rash or disease or something? And then I realized, you know what? I used wool a couple of days ago, and it actually lasts for a long time that I get skin irritation from wool. So I'm going to show you one from last month's KnitCrate. It's beautiful, but it can't be up against my skin or I break out in a little rash. So very sensitive fingertips. So a lot of the yarn I purchased before, I really can't use. I should probably give it away to someone or something. But in the meantime, it's stuff that I'm not going to use very often. And so now I'm buying stuff that I love more, and a lot of this KnitCrate package, oh my goodness, has so much stuff that I can't wait to tell you about. Okay, so let's see. I sort of unpacked it because I was so scared that some of it was messed up from the shipping. I'm going to show you first a yarn that I already own. I had to buy more of this. This is such a beautiful yarn. Look at that. I made this, is my favorite scarf. It's actually a pattern from Bag O' Day Crochet. Crystal is so amazing. I love her patterns. And this, if you want to look this up, it's on YouTube. It's if you look up 3D scarf Bag O' Day, you'll get her, and I'll put a link for it. But it's so gorgeous. This scarf is amazing. It has such depth to it. It is just, I don't know if you can just see how deep those it's just 3D. It's beautiful. And this yarn is my favorite yarn ever. It is the best yarn I have ever used. It is soft. It's squishy. It feels like your favorite stuffed animal when you are pressed up against it. It's so beautiful, and just the best yarn I've ever used, which will explain to you this yarn you're about to see. Best yarn I've ever used. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It's soft. The stitch definition is amazing. And here's the color they have available. Yes, it's not quite construction jumper, but it's pretty close. It's a very orange, but you can see the stitch definition is just gorgeous. I mean, really, this is a beautiful, beautiful yarn. But I got 5 of these, and this is still on sale. You'll still find this at KnitCrate.com. It is still on sale, and it is stunning. It is really the best yarn ever. That's why I'm willing to have it in red. I bought 2 colors, actually. I bought red and green. Where is my green? Here's the green. I got 2 of these in green. I don't know if that's quite showing up as the right color, but I think it's pretty close. It's leaf green. It is a true green leaf. It's not teal. It's not anything like that. It is truly a green. And it is, again, squishy, soft, like the best stuffed animal in the world. Now, here's the thing about green is it just doesn't look good up against my skin tone, But I do have the perfect dress to wear this with that has the leaves of the flowers on it, have almost exactly the shade. So this one, I think I'm gonna make this into a scarf. Oh, so squishy. This one, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with this. It's beautiful, it's squishy. Whatever I make has to be something I wear up against my skin because this is beautiful. Now it is called Audine Wool's Sleek. It is fine merino wool, baby alpaca, mulberry silk, 220 yards for 100 grams. It is absolutely beautiful. I think that baby alpaca and the fine merino wool, well, although probably the silk too, are what make it absolutely just stunning. It's so soft. And so that, I have 5 of those that I got on the sale, and then I got 2 of these. Now I have here, so I'll put away my beautiful, beautiful blue that went with that. Oh, I love this. This is my favorite scarf. I tell you, I had to search to find this. It ended up being on my dresser, but I went out to the car. I wear it all the time. Oh my gosh. If you find this pattern, you are absolutely going to love it. Love it, love it. So we have, oh, my shawl pin came undone. I usually use a small shawl pin with this. I found these shawl pins. They're so pretty. Here's one of them. And I have another one sitting around on my desk, but it is so, so pretty. And I got 5 of them for like $10 or $11. So good. So gorgeous. All right, so the next one I'm going to show you something that I have in progress right now. And I bought 2 more of them. Or did I buy 2? I bought 3 more of them. 3 more of them. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. You can see that sparkle a mile away. But I'm wondering if you can see also the hairs on that. This has, it's a superwash merino, 70% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and 10% stellina. This is stunning. It's a sport. I don't usually use sport yarns because they're so small. It's really hard to use. It's it goes a little slowly, but look at the drape on this. This is gorgeous. Look at how pretty that is. That is a gorgeous scarf. It has beautiful drape. It just, look at how it puddles. It's so beautiful, and it's fairly squishy, and it's super soft. If someone had told me this was wool, I wouldn't believe them because it doesn't feel like it. It feels almost like this super soft cotton. It's so soft and beautiful. So this is really pretty. It's also a pattern that I love by, I don't know actually who wrote the pattern, but you'll find it on Expression Fiber Arts, boho. Now, Expression Fiber Arts is an amazing website. I think you'll love her stuff. This is what it looks like when it's done with fringe. And look at that. Isn't that just stunning? I really love her stuff. So and this one is a free pattern. It's been free for a while. Usually her stuff is only free for like a week or 2 when she first puts the video, the YouTube video out. But you might find that you're able to find this one still for free. Now I have another sample of this that I made. Oh my goodness. So this one's not done. This one I have a few more rows. Like I think this has 19 rows like she did in her version, but I need a few more rows and then I'm gonna put fringe on this. So I have a second, I've used 1 full skein, which is why I have it sitting separately. And this is my other skein. It'll just take a little bit more. Oh, see how that just puddled? It's beautiful, beautiful yarn. And so I'll take a little bit more of this other skein, but I wanna show you the other scarf I made of the same pattern. And this is from, that yarn I think is from, oh my goodness, July or so of 2020. This is the yarn we got last month. Isn't that gorgeous? So I did a full, this is a full one. with that pattern, and it is just beautiful. I really love it. It's the DK weight one that we got last month. I'll go ahead and just put this on and sit down real quickly. Oh, this is lovely. It is not soft. It is not soft at all. It bugs my skin a little bit. It didn't bother me to make it, oddly enough, but when I wear it, it irritates my skin, very much so. So I wear it with something. That's kind of why I wore sleeves. I had to go put on something with sleeves if I was going to put this up against my skin, because it does not wear well for me, and I can't wear it without it really, really irritating me. But look at this yarn. Oh my goodness. And you can kind of tell even from there that there is a depth of color to this yarn. When I unpacked this, my husband looked at it. I want you to see it right up close. My husband, when I unpacked it, my husband looked at it and said, bring that over here. I really want to see that color, because it looks kind of green on the camera, and it shouldn't be. It is a teal color for sure, but you have some depth of color in here, like in the grooves, it's a darker shade. And on the outside, it's almost a whitish sheen to it, and color. That's actually not just the sheen. There's a lighter color on top, and then sort of the teal. So it really has such depth of color. And so the stitches look really defined too. And the color it's almost like a muddy teal. So it's not your standard teal. It is really different. This is not something, and you can see the fuzz on that as well. All that fuzz. It is not something you're going to see coming and going. This is going to be something that is unusual and just beautiful. Just, of course, if you're going to use this for a gift, gosh, I'd make sure that they aren't like me and super duper sensitive to wools. Otherwise, I love this. I wear it all the time. I just make sure I wear it with something that has sleeves so that it doesn't expose me to too much of the wool in that. So unfortunately, that only took one skein, so I have 3 skeins left of this, and I've been thinking about what I'm gonna do with it, because it's something I'm gonna have to wear something under it, because I can't wear that on my bare skin. But I saw in the pattern book this right here. This is so pretty. It's a cowl, and I made so many cowls this winter. I was like, nope, I am not making another cowl, thank you very much. But the pattern that came in the booklet is really pretty, so I might do that one with the remaining yarn I have from last month. So this is last month's little bag, and and I unpacked it and immediately started working with it, because that color is so unusual. It's not the color I wanted, not at all. As you know, we got 3 different colored, well, we have the 3 strands, color strands that we could choose from, and there was a blue in the cool or whatever it was called, and it was so pretty, and I wanted the blue so bad, and I got this teal color, and I was like, oh, it's teal, and then I went, this is a weird color, this is really neat. So I'm not thrilled I got it, but I'm really glad I got it. It's really, really interesting. Oh, I want to show you a pattern I found from Bag a Day Crochet. Oh my gosh, isn't that cute? See the kitty, can you see that they're kitty cats? It's called the cat stitch. Oh my gosh. That's kind of what I was thinking I would do with these 2 yarns together, and I hate them together. Oh my gosh, I hate them so much together. I don't like them at all, but I thought I would do alternating colors. I was like, oh, it'll be so cute, little alternating colors. And then I got it, went, no, that's not cute at all. But I'm gonna definitely find some yarn to make that cat stitch with. I think that is so cute. And if you haven't checked out Bag a Day, I'm sure you have. Everyone has. She's fabulous. Everyone who crochets has seen her, but she's got some great patterns, and that beautiful little 300 patterns on her Etsy page for $62.50. I bought it immediately. It's such a bargain for all of those amazing patterns. All right, so I have 4 more yarns. Oh my gosh, I better hurry. This one is gorgeous. Gorgeous. I already have 2 of them. I had to get more because I started to work something with it. I actually tried that that boho pattern that I'm making my second one of already. This pattern is so easy to do, and it's triple crochet, so it goes super quickly. So that I wanted to do in this, but I tested it and it was just, this is a fingering weight yarn. Oh my gosh, I want you to see it up close. This is a fingering weight yarn and it's just so beautiful. It has a beautiful little, you can see the mohair in it. Oh, this yarn is stunning, but it was just too much to try to do. Here it is. Vita Lana by KnitCrate Linen Jewel. And you can see here the colorway is Oasis. It's 50% superwash merino, 30% linen, and 20% silk. 400 yards in the 100 grams. And this is just absolutely gorgeous. It is so pretty, but when you double it up, it's a little too thick. It's a heavy 4-weight, and that really didn't work for the shawl. But finger weight, I just don't have the patience for finger weight. But I have 2 more, so that makes 1,600 yards, and I figure I can make something pretty. And it's soft. Oh, it's so soft. It's soft and beautiful, and really just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. So I'll find something. I need to find a pattern. If you have any ideas of a nice pattern with the either the fingering or the double up, which is a heavy 4, since this is a cotton, oh no, it's not a cotton. Feels like a cotton, but it's a superwash merino. See, I think wool bugs me, and then I get something like this. This doesn't bug me at all. Oh, this is gorgeous. Doesn't bother me at all. So if you have any ideas for patterns, you can put the link down below. I would love it. Oh, and you saw I got 3 more of that purple to make something else like this. I already made this one in that, my beautiful, beautiful scarf. I have 3 more, plus I'll be able to have part of that one too. So what I was thinking is I used to go to the opera all the time. See, this is 70% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 10% stellina. It's sport weight, so 300 yards for 100 grams. This is Uru yarn, sugared sport. And I used to go to the opera all the time. We had season tickets back in the day. And I was thinking, I have a beautiful black dress. It's a fit and flare, so it's, sort of very fitted up here and then flares out and sort of twirls around my legs. It's so pretty. And I was thinking that with this sparkle. Look at that sparkle. Unbelievable that this is so soft. I usually hate sparkle yarns, but this one is not rough at all. Not at all. You could hardly tell. I couldn't tell there were sparkles in it if I didn't see it. And wow, that sparkles. From a mile away, you can see this sparkle. I am thinking that a nice rectangular wrap, so if you know a nice rectangular wrap pattern, hopefully crochet. I found a beautiful one on, the same person who made the boho shawl, but it's knitted, and I'm slow at knitting. Of course, there's no hurry. Maybe I'll do that knitted one, but this is so beautiful. And, it shows up kind of blue, actually. I'm seeing more blue. It's purple. This is purple. This is not blue at all. It's a solid Barney purple. It is not, and it's beautiful. And I'm thinking a nice rectangular shawl to wrap around myself this way, and then it'll show the waist underneath it, and then the twirl past that. I think this would be really fancy. In this boho shawl thing that I have back here, it is not fancy. It's beautiful, but I mean, it's called boho for a reason. It's not something fancy. This will look very pretty over my Easter dress, and it'll look lovely over many other things, but I wouldn't wear it over to a fancy event. Whereas I figure a nice rectangular shawl with this might be just what I want to do with that beautiful yarn. All right, so I have that. Let me show you my next one. This is a yarn I've never had before, and it's gorgeous. This is what I am super excited to try. Let me show you the pattern I want to do. It's an easy crochet summer top. So what I was thinking is this would make a lovely cover up for this summer. See, can you see? I know that looks like maybe it's just the sheen. It's not. That is lighter than that. That's like a very light orange, and then that's more of a burnt orange. So it has these color striations through it. It's not a striped yarn. It's a hand dyed kind of yarn. So it has just different colors all the way through it. You have everything from a dark orange to a very light one through there. So you can see those high points. There's a little bit of sheen too, but really you don't see a ton of sheen right here. It's really light in other places. Not as light as some of the samples I saw, but definitely this through here is much lighter than through here, for example. So it's beautiful. It's also in cotton. I want to have cotton for a swimsuit cover up and for a beach cover up in case it gets wet, right? I don't want a nice wool to sit there and be wet on me forever. So this is 34% cotton, 35% linen, lyocell, and nylon. So it'll should have a nice bounce to it. 351 yards for every 100 grams. And there it is. Audine Wools, which is the KnitCrate brand, interlock. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. I'm so glad I bought it. And I figure with that 351 yards, I should have times 3, a little over 1,000. I should have enough to do this. It's nice and open, and I'll figure I'll do it a little bit longer for a swimsuit. That's a top, but I figure a swimsuit cover up. Again, this is another one of the Bag O' Day patterns. Telling you, love her patterns. So glad I bought that little jump drive so that I have so many patterns to choose from. And so I got 3 of those. Super excited. That is going to be gorgeous. And my last yarn that I have is another twinkly yarn. But you're going to notice this is a much more subtle twinkly yarn. Now, what I already have 4 skeins of this, so I'm buying 2 more. And this is going to be, again, just like the orange. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it brings out the color of my lips, my cheeks. Any kind of orangey thing really is nice. Might make me look, since I'm a bigger girl, I might look like a pumpkin in it. But you know what? I'm going to look like a happy, glowy pumpkin. It is just beautiful. And this one isn't pumpkin-y. This is not that. Oh my goodness. Every time I see it, I laugh a little bit. Oh, it's the squishiest one, most wonderful yarn. But that color is too much. My goodness. But this is beautiful. This is beautiful, so much more subtle. I hope that you can see it's kind of a pinky orange. I hope you see that is a pretty, pretty, pretty color. That is going to be gorgeous on me. And what I'm doing a pattern. I'll show you a little bit about the yarn in a second. But I'm doing a pattern by Will Made. I love, I think everyone I'm showing you are just delightful human beings. They aren't just great designers, but they're just lovely people. And this person is as well. Another just wonderful person. This is a V-stitch cardigan. I've only done one other cardigan, but this one's simple construction. I've watched the video, I've read the pattern, and it seems like something I can pretty easily do. So this is what I'm going to make next, and I'm so excited about it. Here is what I've done so far. Now you can see it has, so you can hardly even see that there is a sparkle in it, but it's much more subtle than that purple. That purple was a pretty heavy sparkle. This is much more subtle, but it's also not as soft as that purple. That purple is just butter soft. It's so soft. This one, not so much, which surprises me because this has cashmere in it. You would think cashmere, soft, 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 but no, it's not as soft. It's not rough. I mean, I'm not saying that this is not like that greenish, tealish color. No, no, no. That is rough on the skin. This isn't rough. It's not going to harm me in any way. And I have very sensitive skin. But this is beautiful, and I think it's going to make a nice spring cardigan. Obviously not a winter one with all the holes, but I don't know about you guys, but where I work, my school, it goes from hot to freezing all the time. They have a little thing on my thing that says I have control over the temperature, but it's a big lie. It probably took me 2 years before I realized it was just a lie. It doesn't work. It gives me the psychological feeling that I have some kind of control, but I don't. I will turn the temperature down, turn the temperature up, whatever I do, it doesn't change. So it took me a while to figure that out. But in the meantime, what I have is lots of wraps and things at school to keep me warm when it gets cold and that I can take off when it gets hot. I have students all the time ask me to turn things up and down, and I go, oh, sure, I'll press the button. And this is Twinkle DK. This is the last one I'm going to show you. This one is Squad Goals color. It's 80% merino wool, 10% cashmere, and 10% stellina. It is a DK weight, obviously, Twinkle DK, and it's beautiful. It is not butter soft. It's not rough, but it's not butter soft. It's a little bit squishy, but I don't know. I guess I'm talking about it like I don't love it, but obviously I've already started a project on it, so I do like it. I like it a lot. I think it's beautiful. It's just not this kind of soft. You know what I mean? It's not that purple. Oh, this purple yarn is beautiful. I would never use a sport yarn unless it was incredibly soft. So that is everything I bought. My 17 skeins of yarn. I have here my last thing. And something I don't usually purchase, but I just could not help myself. Look at that cute, cute, cute little stitch marker. I usually just use yarn. I don't use stitch markers, but this is so light. It's just, I can't describe. It's just a little bit of thin sort of thread with that hook. So it stays on there. It's actually on one of my knit projects that I'm working on right now. One of my works in progress that I started last, I don't know, June or July. Oh, what can you do, right? And so that is my beautiful stitch marker that I got as well. So I hope you go and find this deal. I will tell you this, the box that we got in February is not for sale on the website, but last time I checked, yes, these weird colors, they are weird colors, but it's the best yarn ever. They have that. Last time I checked, I don't know if they still had this color, Squad Goals or not, but if they do, it really is a beautiful, interesting color. This one was one I believe they still have as well. And I don't know about the purple. The purple might be gone now, actually, which would be a shame because that is so pretty. But I hope you go get yourself some yarn. It's 75% off of our own discount that I think we get. I don't remember what our usual discount is, but I think, like, for example, this yarn is originally $22. We get it for $15, and now 75% off. I don't know, it makes it probably almost $5, right? Unbelievable. That is such a good price for good quality yarn. So thank you so much for listening. I know this was kind of long. I'm sorry, but I'm just so excited about the different patterns. Hopefully you found a pattern you like, or maybe someone new to go take a look at their patterns and their things. And hopefully you have some ideas for me of like what I can do with the remainder of my scratchy yarn that I got last month, or perhaps what I can do with this orange. I read someone say on the KnitCrate website that they were going to do some hand dye, they put another sort of wash over it to dull it down a little bit. I'm a little scared of doing something like that, but maybe something like that would be something I could do. Bring out the Kool-Aid or something. But I've also read that you can't do that because once it's sealed, you can't do that. So if you have any insights into hand dyeing, gosh, I'd love to hear about that as well. I'm not that fancy yet. I'm not a hand dyer yet. But if you have any ideas, or if you know somewhere that has someone on YouTube or on Facebook that shows things that they have made with their KnitCrate, I just haven't been finding much. That's why I went ahead and made this videos, because I wanted to share what I'm doing with them and hopefully get some ideas from others, because that's the best, right? I don't have my community that I used to have when I was young, where we could go and sit and knit together during our lunch break. So hopefully I can find the equivalent here on the internet, where we can sit and talk about what we're doing, what our projects are, and how you're using that beautiful, beautiful KnitCrate yarn. Thank you so much, and I hope you take care of yourself. Very important.